I had to be like, absolutely not. I am no longer putting others' needs, wants, feelings, emotions, and all that stuff before me. Doing that is the reason why I took so long to find myself and understand who I was, because I'm so busy living for everybody's approval and everybody wants and need, and I'm forgetting to pour into my cup. I'm not doing that no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like, hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to have another talk. You know, I like to have my talk with you guys when I'm getting ready. So I just came out the shower. I'm about to wash this old makeup off from last night when I went out and put a fresh face on. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to be having a conversation with you guys about what? Boundaries. Yeah, boundaries. Because boundaries is like, it's such a touchy subject, and I feel like just like other topics like colorism and stuff like that, no one talks to us about creating boundaries and respecting boundaries. Okay, so yeah, not having boundaries for myself, I realized, caused at least 90% of all the issues I've ever had, like ever. And what are boundaries? Like, let's start by that. Boundaries are rules that you set in place, not only for yourself in regards to you and your life, but rules that you also set in place for everyone that comes into your life and interacts with you. And that's anybody. That's your friend, family, loved one, whoever, anybody, strangers. Boundaries are literally like a square around you and the rules set in place for people to respect these lines. And when you don't have these lines surrounding you, what happens when there isn't a barricade around? Intrusion, intrusion, intrusion. People can just invade. That's why cops put barricades to block out. They don't care what's coming. They don't care if it's good or bad. Boundaries. Got burned on my forehead by freaking iron. The wand color. The wand color always gets me on my forehead. This time it wasn't as big as last time. Last time I had a big nasty burn. My face is clean, and now it's time for us to get into what? Boundaries. Okay? Boundaries. Gunshots. That's what boundaries should be called, because boundaries are, like I said, they're rules. Okay? So what happens when you break the rules? Yeah, consequences. Gunshots in the air. You know what I'm saying? But basically, anytime somebody break my boundaries, what I do? Kick them off my train, get off the bus, gunshot, and then you what? Yes, that's how I feel about it, because I don't like when people break my boundaries. I feel like when you cross somebody's boundaries, intentional or unintentional, is disrespectful. And when it's intentional, it's way more disrespectful. I usually go in with a moisturizer, but I'm OT right now and it's literally 105 degrees. So I'm gonna use my Wet n Wild Hydrating Rose Water Primer. I get this on Amazon, Target, or Walmart. It's like literally between $5 and $10, which depending on who you go to, and it's really good. I almost forgot to clean my ears. You guys, don't forget to clean your ears. I always like to go in with some alcohol and wipes and just, you know, super cleanse my ear. And then after that, I go in with a Q-tip. Get behind the corners of your ears. I'm always sitting here trying to tell y'all how to clean yourselves. I know y'all know how to bathe. I know y'all know. I'm not saying y'all dirty. Let me stop. I'm just trying to keep y'all informed. I'm always learning new things every day. But yeah, so I'm gonna add a little bit of this. I'm only gonna use this because if I use lotion, which I usually use Pond's cream, I'm gonna be like super sweaty. This makeup needs to last me all day because I'm going a few places and I'm not trying to sweat too much or whatever. But the reason why I feel so strongly about boundaries is because I've had a hard time keeping healthy relationships, friendships, you know, with my family, friends, strangers, and I never understood why. I just always felt like at one point or another, every time I smiled with someone a little too much, or I joked around with someone a little too much, or I was too friendly or too nice, and basically I didn't have any boundaries, I was always getting violated. I felt like my boundaries were always being crossed at one point or another, and it was just like, I used to be like, yo, like, what's going on? Like why are people disrespecting me? Like, why are people like violating, like, you know, who I am and what I stand for? And I had to understand it was because I didn't understand who I was. Because if I understood who I was at the time, those people would have never had enough room to cross those boundaries. You get what I'm saying? I understood that I didn't like what was happening. I didn't like what was going on. I get that. But all the makeup, you guys, I'm gonna list it in the bio below, because I don't want to keep interrupting and telling y'all what I'm using, because I use the same thing all the time. So and I'm not a makeup girl, I'm just doing my makeup. So if you like have like similar features or skin tone as me, then you can probably just, you know, go off of what I want. But yeah, I'll list it down below. But yeah, I used to just, what was I saying? Yeah, I didn't have rules set up for myself in order for people to respect those boundaries. So what happens? I realized that people are just gonna try whatever they can. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a person, because I'm strong on my own personal boundaries now, I respect people's boundaries a lot. I've never like really crossed like a lot of boundaries. And yeah, my foundation looks a little light because I've been tanning a lot out here. And I usually get 2 shades in Clinique. I get amber and clove, but I only have my amber right now, which is the lighter complexion that I wear in the winter time. So I'm just gonna balance it out with my bronzer. But yeah, I don't cross people's boundaries because I like my boundaries being respected a whole lot. Like, I really do not like people just like saying anything to me, doing anything to me, perceiving and assuming anything regarding me. I don't like it. I feel like all of that is like disrespect of boundaries, and I feel like people do that a lot. And one thing about people is, you give them an inch, they're gonna always do what? Take a yard. And one thing about boundaries is that people just continue to cross them. You let somebody cross boundaries one time, guess what? It's gonna keep happening. It's kind of like a dog. If you walk past a dog and it barks at you and you don't say anything, you know, 9 times out of 10 you're not. Like, this is the wrong analogy. Basically, I'm just saying, kick the dog in the neck, is not gonna bark again. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying go around kicking people in the neck, but you got to shut people down when they cross your boundaries. And how do you develop boundaries? You have to ask yourself, hey, who am I? Who am I? What do I like? What do I not like? What are my triggers? What are my stressors? What are my happy points? What are my low points, high points? You know, you have to understand who you are. And once you understand who you are, then boom, you can set a foundation in place and be like, hey, all right, I don't like when people do this to me. I don't want this to be said to me. I don't like this happening to me. Now, once you set that stage for yourself, you start to operate in that stage. Now, you start to make sure that you do not place yourself in those environments where you don't want this happening, you don't want that happening. What happens? If you put your hand in the fire, you're gonna get burned. So what you're gonna do? You're gonna refrain from doing so. So when you create boundaries for yourself, you take yourself out of the position to be handled a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And you put yourself in position and around people who's not gonna fumble you. Who wants to be fumbled? I don't want to be fumbled. I want to be secured. So I only want to be at a stage where I'm around people who are secure and makes me feel secure. I want to be comfortable. That's the reason why I don't have a lot of friends, because I can't do that frenemy fake. Sometimes I can't do that. I want to be comfortable. I don't want to be looking over my shoulder. I want to be having doubts. I don't want to be having preconceived notions. I want to be feeling uneasy. I want to be comfortable. If I'm not comfortable around you, I'm not fucking with you. I don't care who you are. If I'm not comfortable around you, I'm not fucking with you. Because there's nothing I can gain from you. Nothing. And I feel like people stick around. I feel like people stick around people because they literally like feel like, okay, you know what? Even though so-and-so crosses my boundaries and I'm not really fucking with this interaction, I'm gonna stick around because I can gain this, that, and the third. Because I'm not a leech, I'm never afraid to remove myself from any environment. Any. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you have. I don't care. If you make me feel any way that's uncomfortable, I'm gonna go get my chicken somewhere else. I'm going to hatch the egg. I'm going to make the chicken myself. I don't ever need to eat from nobody and my plate is dirty. I want a clean plate of food. I don't want to be seated at no table that love ain't being served at. You know what I'm saying? Or respect. So at one point I realized to myself, like, yo, I'm going through all these situations where I feel so violated. I have a temper. I don't know how to control how I react to things. I just know I get very upset. I don't know when I'm at 100 until I'm at 100. And the reason why I don't understand how I get there is because I didn't understand myself, and I didn't understand what was happening and how my boundaries were being crossed, and they were triggering my stressors, which is the reason I would lash out more than I needed to, because I come from a life of being bullied and all that stuff. You know, I'm not gonna cry no sad stories. Like, we all have been victim to one thing or another. But one thing I took from all of those experiences, good or bad, is that I learned what I didn't like and what I do like, and how I want to be treated and how I don't want to be treated. And don't get me wrong, I love my mom to death. Like, she is my queen, but she raised me to be a goddamn people pleaser. And I didn't realize that until like my adult life, that was like where she was going with it. That was who she was, and that's kind of like where she kind of steered me to go. And I had to wake up one day and be like, oh, hell no. Like, I was a people pleaser for a very long time. Like, I just always felt like I was a notch under of being accepted. Like, nowhere I went, I was fully accepted. So in order to be accepted, I had to please people. And that's where I was for a very long time in my life. And one day I had to wake up like, you, only EBK. I don't care about none of y'all opinions, y'all thoughts on me, wants, needs, nothing. I was born into this world because that man right there, he had a purpose for me, and that shit don't got nothing to do with you, him, her, them, they, nobody. So fuck all that. I stopped living to please anyone but myself. And when I started to do that, people started to drop like flies. Because you know what I did? I called God and I was like, yo, thank you for all that you continue to do for me, to bless me with, to give me in this world, Father God. I have nothing but grace and gratitude. Father God, I ask that anything that is not of me, anything that is not for me, anything that puts me in a decline, any weapon formed against me, Father God, I ask that you reverse it and return it back to sender. Father God, I ask that you protect me from everything that is not for me. I ask that you remove everything that is not for me from my presence, from my graces. Father God, I ask that you give me clarity. Clarity in every move I make in life, in every room I walk in. Father God, I ask that you have this third eye open up and see everything that shall be the devil in formation against us. And I ask that you give me enough strength, wisdom, skills, resilience, and ambition to fight every obstacle. Period, plain blank. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. I pray to God like that every single day. Every single day. Ask him for whatever I need. When I started putting my faith in God, and I started putting my faith in seeking acceptance from people who can't even accept themselves. These people don't even support themselves. They don't even accept themselves. And I'm looking for acceptance from them. These people are insecure as... They don't even know them, and I'm looking for them to tell me who I am. That. No. I started setting boundaries for myself. No. Can't call my phone at this time. No. You do not pay my phone bill. Cannot call my phone at this time. No. Absolutely not. No, you cannot come to my house. No, you cannot bring people to my house. No, you cannot have this. No. No became my favorite word, because one thing I had to learn is that no is not a bad word. And growing up, every time I've said no, I've gotten into a very bad situation, and it made me afraid to say no. And one day I had to wake up like, why am I afraid to say no? I should never be afraid to say no. Those people should be afraid to ask of me. Period, point blank. Because I'm a person that I don't ask of anyone. I am so self-sufficient. So self-sufficient. Anybody that's really close-knit in my life would tell you that. And I'm not saying that people don't need people. Everybody needs somebody. And yes, I do receive help in areas of my life, because God always sends vessels out there to support me. That's what he does. When God help those who help themselves. When he see me striving and I run into an obstacle, God be like, don't worry, I got you. I got you with somebody I'm about to send somebody in flesh and bone to guide and support you the way I promised you I would. That's what my God always do for me. As he always will. So, you know, I started creating boundaries for myself, and you know, yeah, it was tough. It was tough because, you know, there's a lot of times where you really are not trying to be like a bad person or a mean person or be perceived a certain way, but I've come to learn that at the end of the day, people are going to perceive you whichever way they want to perceive you, and it has nothing to do with you. I've had people that I've done broke my back for that thinks I'm the worst person in the world. So I just say fuck all that. I don't care how you perceive me. I don't care who you think I am, because I'm not who you want me to be. I'm never going to live up to your standards. So I'm going to always disappoint you, and I'm okay with that. I wasn't okay with that before. I was trying to please everyone, but now I'm okay with disappointing you, because you know why? I'm not for you, and you don't know me. I wasn't put here for you. You know what I'm saying? I was put here for my own purpose that has nothing to do with you, because if it had something to do with you, then we wouldn't be clashing. If it has something to do with you, then we would be in high vibration together, because everything that is of God vibrates me high. So if you're vibrating me low, then you're not supposed to be here, so goodbye. That's how I be feeling. That's really what I be feeling. I be saying, like, listen, I don't be wanting to preach to y'all, but y'all know I was a prophet in one of my lifetimes. I be telling y'all that. No, but seriously, I was a prophet in one of my lifetimes. But, you know, like, and as hard and as heavy as you may start to feel when you begin to, like, shut people down and people start dropping like flies, and, you know, you feel like, you know, am I doing the right thing? Like, what the fuck am I doing? Why are you doing that? You be feeling like, am I doing the right thing? Like, should I have like shut this person out like that? Maybe I should have did this. Maybe I should. No, stop overextending yourself. Stop overextending yourself. Stop making yourself feel like this is something that you're supposed to be doing, because guess what? Newsflash, baby girl. There are a lot of people, most of the people in your life are never going to feel like they need to do jack diddly nothing. They're going to do what they want to do. So stop feeling obligated, because they don't. Stop feeling obligated, because they do not. They don't feel obligated. And I used to feel obligated. I put myself in a lot of messed up positions, feeling obligated to serve people's needs and wants and desired. I put myself in situations that I'm still facing now. Fucked up situations that I'm still have not finished closing out those chapters and healing those wounds now, because I felt obligated to please somebody else. And when it was time for that to come back to me, they chose themselves, as they should. I respect that. People like that, they taught me. Anybody who ever chose themselves over me, I thank them. I appreciate them. You know why? Me feeling that type of abandonment and betrayal is what got me out of the people pleasing, no boundary spell I was living under. They taught me how to never feel that way again, and how to move just like them. So everyone who ever violated me and thought that they were doing me a disservice, thank you. Thank you, because that violation had me check myself before I wrecked myself. Because I was going down a really bad path of people pleasing, and I was just like, not only does not creating boundaries, like, all it does is have negative effects on your life. It'll give you anxiety. It'll make you depressed. Like, you'll feel like you can't even really function the way you want to function. Like, it's so stressful. And let me tell you something about people. They're gonna use you as much as you let them. Ain't nobody, if you tell somebody, hey, this candy is free, take as much as you want, naturally they're not going to just be like, oh, I've had enough. No, they're gonna take as much as they can. Every time you give somebody, it takes somebody with real integrity to just not overdo it when you extend a helping hand or you offer yourself. You know what I'm saying? It takes real solid people, and there just aren't a lot of solid people in this world. Like, they're very rare. I may be one of the few people who go to the buffet table and just really take what my stomach is really gonna consume. Like, I'm not about to stack my plate up yay high, like, because I'm not finna eat all that. Like, no. I know that I'm not gonna eat all that, so why would I do such a thing? I really messed up on this eye. I don't even know how it messed up the way it did, but I hate adding so much concealer. But yeah, creating boundaries just really just gives you just a healthier life to live. Like, I really just expect that. Like, I really just feel like that. I feel like, although sometimes I do be, you know, a little lonely, I be missing certain people, missing certain vibes, I also understand that release that I felt when I turned that faucet off, when I stopped pouring into everybody else's cup while my cup is being drained and dried out, I feel so fulfilled. I feel like I have more time and energy and love and everything to give to me. Everything that I was searching for everybody else, everything that I was lacking and just looking for in the wrong places, I was finally able to give myself. I was finally able to love myself the right way, treat myself the way I want to be treated, you know, talk to myself the way I want to talk to, learn the things I want to learn to. I had time and energy to do so much because I stopped pouring into everybody else, because I started creating boundaries for myself. It's okay to say no. No is not a bad term. Don't ever let anybody make you feel like no is a bad term. And if somebody makes you feel like no is a bad term, that person is not for you. And that person does not respect you or your boundaries, and that person needs to go ASAP, expeditiously. One thing I understand about this world is that no two people are the same. No two people are the same. That means that at some degree, at some point, you and another person is always going to disagree on anything. People are not just gonna know how to treat you. They're gonna treat you based on their own life experiences, based on how people treat them. You get what I'm saying? Not a lot of people treat people how they want to be treated. Some people get treated like shit, so they walk around treating other people like shit. The world just literally goes around. I know personally, I've decided that I don't care what you going through, Tom, Dick, and Harry, I know this is how I want to be treated. And the only people that can be around me is the people who are willing and open to treating me this way. And if they're not, they got to go. Kicking niggas off the bus. That's what it is. And letting go is so important because you're never going to be comfortable setting boundaries if you're not comfortable of letting go. Not only letting go of people, but letting go of whatever situation that made you feel how you felt. There were a lot of ways where I felt very violated and I had to just let it go. I had to move on. Like, girl, you gotta pay this. Pay it. Pay it. You gotta pay to the game. Move on. You can't hold on to this. Because if you hold on to this, you ain't never gonna learn from it. You ain't gonna grow. Pay it. You gotta learn how to let go of people. You gotta learn how to let go of comfort. You gotta learn how to let go of not understanding, because it's not your job to understand. It's not your job to understand people. It's not. It really isn't. It really isn't your job to understand people at all. I used to try to understand people all the time, and I just realized, like, you know what? I don't even understand myself. Why the hell am I sitting here trying to understand you? I don't even understand me. I still don't fully understand me because I'm always evolving. I realized that. That's why I kind of had to, like, you know, kind of just take all the pressure off myself, because I'm like, girl, like, you know, you're always evolving, you're always changing. Like, you're multifaceted. You know, your brain is running a million miles a minute. Stop trying to be someone and stop trying to let somebody tell you who you are, because you're never going to be who you were yesterday, which is the only person that you're competing against and the only person that you have a standard to live up against. Nobody else's journey has anything to do with yours. So if it ain't about the girl yesterday, you from yesterday, ain't about shit. Ain't about shit. I had to understand that. It ain't about shit. It sucks because I always be like, damn, I hate that it took me so long. I missed so many opportunities in life. I done been through so much stuff I ain't had to go through if I just knew how to create boundaries for myself. But it's okay, because you're not going to be born knowing everything. That's why it's so important to be opening to learning. And me, I read a lot of books. 48 Laws of Power is my favorite book. The Alchemist, love that book. What else I like? Right now I'm reading The Bluest Eye. It's about a little black girl, you know, being raised, you know, not understanding her beauty as a black girl and people not explaining that to her, and her being compared to like a white woman and having white little girl dolls and, you know, just all that stuff. And I felt like it was important for me to read that book because I'm a black woman in America, and I talk to you guys all the time about how I go through colorism, racism, and all these things. And in order for me to understand what I'm going through, I need to see other perspectives similar to mine. And it's unfortunate that our parents don't sit down and teach us these things, but then now we have to take the initiative to teach ourselves so that we can teach our offspring, so that we can break generational curses, so that we can create a world for black women like us to walk into, have, and be respected naturally. I don't want to have to create this list of boundaries and be so stern on it to the point where I could barely enjoy life sometimes because I'm not naturally respected like my counterparts who is of a different shade than me. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. Like, I just feel like it's just really important for you to sit down one day and just be like, yo, how do I want my life to go? And what type of people and energies do I need around me to get there? And who do I need to be to get to where I need to go? And once you figure out that spectrum out, you can start weeding people out, the people that don't belong. Start. Make room for those who walk in the same. Make room for the people who belong and earn their spot right here. Don't just let nobody walk in. You're not gonna let nobody walk into your home, right? It got 4 walls, right? And gates, right? That's you. This is you. This is your temple. Stop letting people just intrude, because they're going to. A lot of people don't like me just because the simple fact I didn't let them intrude. Oh, she thinks she this, or she act like she this, and then they try to like tell me about myself. Like, you can't tell me about me. I can't even tell me about me. I done did some wild stuff. I done did some despicable stuff. I done did some great shit. I done did some I done did a lot. Nobody's perfect. You're not gonna condemn me for not being perfect, because you aren't perfect. And I don't understand why you want me to live to a perfection that you can't live up to. And people do this all the time. People literally come into your space, in your world, and try to tell you how you aren't perfect. Well, motherfucker, what are you? What are you? What are you to my imperfection, kettle? Since I'm the motherfucking pot. No, is that the way around? You know what I'm talking about. Bottom line is, no one is going to understand you until you understand you. No one is going to respect you until you respect you. No one can tell you who you are until you tell them and you tell yourself who you are. And how do you maintain and live by that? Boundaries. Boundaries weed out what's not supposed to be there and place room for what's supposed to be there to help you thrive. God doesn't place you where you are comfortable. He places you where you will what? You will thrive. Corinthians, the book of Corinthians. I need to read your Bible. Download the Bible app. Put your earpod in. Play some verses during the day. You will learn your Bible. The stories of the Bible will take you far. The stories of the Bible is exactly what we live every day in life. The stories in the 48 laws of power. Play chess with life. Those stories about wars, World War III, wars in North Korea, just different shit in history will teach you about the ways of life right in your own little neighborhood, in your own little school, your own, wherever you are. The environment is always the same. It's always a game of chess. Whatever room you walk in is chess. Whatever room you walk in, you're playing. Whatever room you walk in, you're playing chess. I keep telling people that you're playing chess. So I just feel basically like, I know when I talk to you guys, the conversation be everywhere, because I be talking to you guys like you're my best friends. Like, I can just sit down and just, you know, just vent, like just say how I feel. It doesn't have to be like structured. I don't have anything written down. I literally just be talking with my whole chest. And then sometimes I be trying to like write things down, because I be having like these personal sermon moments where I be preaching to myself, and then I never even say the things I wrote down, and it be good stuff. But it's kind of like when I just start talking to you guys, I'm not really gonna go look back on my notes and see what I plan to say to you guys. And then it's not natural that way. Like, I don't want to plan to tell y'all anything. I just want to tell y'all how I feel when I feel it, and hopefully that resonates. Blah, blah. Hopefully that resonates. And I just know when I watch a lot of YouTube. I've been watching YouTube for years, and when I watch YouTube, I love watching channels where I find, you know, women like me who just, I can relate to their stories. You know what I'm saying? I can relate to their stories. I understand the walks of life they're coming from, and I feel like I'm not alone. And, you know, I feel like I have some type of guidance, like, you know, listening to people's stories and going through similar things and just feeling like, oh wow, like, okay, now this is how I should handle this. This is how I should handle that, you know? Just in regards to that. So I just want you guys to just be really mindful and in control. Like, at some point, you have to take control of your life, and you need to create boundaries. Because without boundaries, you're gonna be living for everyone else but yourself. And that's facts. And I come on here and I share this with you guys because I wish I had someone to tell me these things, or I learned these things a lot sooner than now, because I would have saved myself a lot of heartache, a lot of obstacles, just setting boundaries for myself. And the reason why I know that boundaries work is because every time now and then I try to break my boundaries purposely. You know, when I see someone come along and try to test my boundaries, I let them sometimes when I feel like it. And that way I start to see who people are. It confirms my formula and everything. Like every time I break a boundary now, every time I break a boundary, I see the result of it. And it's exactly what I presumed it would be in one sense or another. I just continue to prove myself right, and people continue to prove me right. So you know what? Me done break the blood clean boundary then. I'm done breaking my boundaries. Seriously. It's over. And I feel bad for new people because a lot of new people be meeting me. And it's so funny because I know what they're doing because now I have boundaries and I've learned my lesson. I'm looking at them like, poor you. You don't even know I'm 10 steps ahead of you. You're trying to use your head on me. I've been already used, abused, tossed, turned, flipped, maneuvered. You're a day late and $1 short. And for the life of me, that's something that I would never understand. I never understand how people can't just meet people. Why you can't just meet somebody and y'all just cool, or y'all start dealing and, you know, not just relationship, friendship, like take it easy. People meet people and they just start doing too much. They just start wanting too much, requesting too much, imposing too much, and intrusive enough, want to know this, want to be a part of this, want to relax, calm down. We are not like, relax. Y'all gotta start letting things, if you're a person who don't know how to let things naturally flow, you need to stop. And if you're a person who are letting people intrude on your life, you need to stop letting that happen. People gotta take it easy, calm down. We met today. You ain't gotta know all my business tomorrow and be a part of everything that I got going on every day of my life. Relax, boundaries, know your place. If I met you on Instagram, know your place. If I met you at the club, know your place. Wherever I met you at, know your place. Wait, let people earn their spot in your life. And if you're a person who would like to leech on, fall back. A lot of y'all don't like to fall back. A lot of y'all just be in people's face, in people's spaces. Like, y'all so annoying. Let people live their journeys. Let people breathe. Let people live. Let people go through their destiny. Stop coming and interrupting that because you don't know what to do with yourself. Go find something to do. If you're too worried about somebody else, you ain't busy enough. You ain't busy enough. A lot of y'all don't be busy enough. A lot of people that be in my business, I be like, damn, you ain't got nothing to do? Because I don't be having enough time to be in people's business. I swear to God, I don't. I swear to God, I gotta keep earpods in my ear just to listen to the news. Like, I literally was being doxxed and stalked and harassed like a couple of weeks ago. And these people knew every little detail from different corners of my life and stuff that I forgot. I smoked so much weed, stuff that's not even here anymore. Like get a life. Like, you're not busy enough. You don't have enough goals for yourself. When y'all just focus too much on other people's life, I really feel like y'all just don't have enough goals for yourself. Like, y'all need to like go to learn something, go open up a book, like something. Like, God, jeez. How many people don't have goals for themselves, and then they come around and see somebody like you who know yourself, who got goals, boundaries, structure, all that, and guess what? They want to leech. That's why you have for what? Kick him off the bars. I like to double my lashes. I don't know, I used to feel like they too thin, even though they still good, but I like drama. Like, I really just like, sometimes I really just want to move to Mars because it's so hard for me to just function in this world, because I feel like every time I put myself out there, my boundaries are just being tested. And I just wish I could just get myself around an environment of people who just stop, like, just exist around me. Stop crossing my boundaries. Stop doing too much. Like, why y'all can't just exist around people? Why I gotta always do too much? Like, let people live. Oh my God. Like, let people do what they gotta do for themselves. So I would basically say this to say how to start creating boundaries for yourself. Number one, stop being so nice. Stop being so nice. Be kind. Stop being nice. Be pleasant. I could walk into any room and I'm gonna be pleasant. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna be pleasant. I'm gonna, you know, have good respect and manners, and I ain't gonna smile too much with you though. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just have some manners, some respect. I'm gonna be pleasant. You want some conversation? I give you some conversation. I ain't gonna say too much about myself. Don't ask me too much. Boundaries. Boom. You step into a conversation, they start asking you too much. Boom. Boundaries. Boom. Shut it down. And you can shut down things politely. You know, I'm not really comfortable discussing that, but you know, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about, you know, how's your this going? Like, yeah. And if there's nothing that you can bring up about these people to redirect the conversation, you're in the wrong conversation. Because there's no reason why you should enter a conversation and the only interesting thing to talk about is you. Why do you need to know so much about me? Talk about yourself if you want to talk so much. Because I really don't care about people's business. When people start telling me about themselves, it's a snooze fest for me. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what you got going on. I don't care. I don't have enough space in here to take that in and analyze it and make it beneficial to me. I only have room for whatever's already in here, and it's already crowded. So take your fucking success story, your sob story, whatever story you got, and just shove it, pay it, like, fuck. That's how I be feeling. I'm the wrong person. People be trying to, I'm not impressionable at all, like, by any means. So when people be trying to, like, come and, like, say certain things to me to, like, you know, make themselves look a certain way, I be like, I be so, like, over it. I be like, if this person don't shut up, because nothing they're saying right now I care about. And I hate sometimes, because I have kind of like this, like, video vixen kind of demeanor and aesthetic going on, whatever that means. But it puts me in, like, a spectrum of women that they feel like, yeah, that's what I need to say to kind of, like, you know, girls and guys and men, they feel like this is what they need to converse with me about in order to get my attention, and they just be doing the total opposite. They just be turning me off. I'd be so turned off by these conversations. I'd be like, oh my God, I wish this person would just shut up and just stop. Like I really do. Like, I wish I can just smoke in peace right now, especially if I'm smoking. When I'm smoking my weed and people come and try to converse with me, I'd be like, oh my God, oh, leave, go, I'd be so over it. I'd be like, oh my God, I hate it here. I'm just trying to eat in peace. I'm just trying to smoke in peace. I'm just trying to look good in peace. But number one, boundaries. Set rules for yourself. What you like, what you don't like, what you're willing to accept, what you're not willing to let slide, from who, when, and where, how you want to be treated, how you want to be spoken to, how you want to be regarded. Boundaries. Set those boundaries. And you don't gotta be, if you ever feel like you need to come out of character to set your boundaries, then you know you just need to walk away from that entire thing. It's past setting boundaries at this point, because that's just, oh, you got me out of character, you don't respect my shit. So yeah, no boundaries for you. It's just bye-bye. I'm not even gonna kick them out the bus this time. You just gotta remember, it's not your job to make people feel good. It's not your job to fulfill people's dreams and aspirations and desires. It's not your job to please people, period, point blank. It's not your job. It's their job to please themselves. And if they're lacking in that department and they don't know how to do it, this is not your problem. Again, not your problem. And stop making it your problem. Stop feeling obligated to let people just invade and not create boundaries. Even friends that call event. I used to be a friend that I used to invade my friends' boundaries all the time. I used to call them just to vent, and then I realized, like, girl, you can't be doing that. You can't just be pouring yourself onto everybody, and people need to stop doing that. Stop letting people just come in and pour on you, because you have your own things, I'm sure, that you're dealing with. Nobody's life is perfect. No matter what it seems like on social media, everyone's going through something. You know what I mean? So you got to make sure that you're always focused on making sure your fuel is not running on empty before you replenish anybody else's. Like, it's to the point where nobody doesn't even have my phone number. When my phone rings, I know exactly who's most likely calling me. When I used to give people out my phone number, giving out your phone number to everybody is not having boundaries for yourself. Everybody's not supposed to be able to contact you. That's not at any point in time. That's not how this is supposed to be working. You pay your phone bill and you got people calling you all types of hours of the day and night and just doing too much. Requesting stuff, asking for stuff, handing out your number. No, boundaries. Don't give out your number. Give out your social media, give it text free. Boundaries. I just want you guys to be happy. I want you guys to kind of, like, you know, something, be okay with saying no. Say no. Say it loud and proud. Like, I'm finna start learning how to say no in 24 languages so I can make it sound sexy. No. No. Ni. Now. No. Oh. I'll take this color. I never tried this lip before, and I'm just not trying it now. Let me wrap up my hair so I can wrap up this video, because this gotta go. And my camera's dying. Okay, you guys, I just finished. This is the final look. I wanted to curl my hair so bad, but it's so humid out. I'm like, no, I'm not even gonna put myself through that. So I just did a nice swoop, bone straight. I like cute or whatever. But yeah, you guys, so I wanted to really end off this video, and I wanted to tell you guys, you're not going to walk into any successful company without looking at their terms and conditions and being able to abide by that. So you guys need to establish the terms and conditions on your life so you can establish a good, healthy run in your journey, okay? I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. I know my videos are always so very, very long because I am so long-winded, but I have so much to get out to you guys. If you guys have stories about times when you did not create boundaries and things went wrong, and times where you have created boundaries and it worked out for you, please put it down in the comments below, because I love hearing you guys' story. When you guys tell me what's going on with you guys, I'm like, oh my god, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I don't feel crazy anymore. So make sure you guys drop it down in the comment. Make sure you like, subscribe. I was gonna say like, comment, and subscribe, but I just said comment. Make sure you like and subscribe and turn your post notifications on, because you know I'm very, very sporadic when I post. And what else I want to tell you guys? Yes, if you guys like this little cute little pajama set I have on, shorts, let's see it, pop, pop, pop. But I got this from Amazon. I love getting all my pajama sets from Amazon. I got a longer version in a lighter pink shade. It's given Victoria's Secret, but it's not. It was 11 bucks. So I'm gonna put the link down below for the pajama sets I'll be buying. They're so comfortable. It doesn't matter how much you wash them. They don't even get, like, you know, dingy or whatever. But you guys, if you're not gonna do anything else, make sure you love, invest, and pour into your yourselves. I'll see you guys in my next video.